In finances, we should not be so afraid that, we're okay to take risk, I guess, as Christians.
Sure.
As long as, like we do it diligently and we don't invest unethically, we can't be so afraid with doing anything. There's a concept that I've heard and I love it so much. It's called dangerous prayers, where you act in such a way not based on your capacity,
Okay.
but based on what God can do for you. So go out there, you take risks as long as you know that what you're doing is not illegal, not immoral.
Everything is given to us by God, and we should be a good steward to whatever resources we have or whatever we receive in our life.
Yeah.
Because we are accountable
Yeah.
to every mistake we made with the resources that God gives to us. So welcome back to segment 2 of this podcast. I'm F.A. Wider, and today we are diving into a very deep discussion about the intersection of faith, work, and financial growth as Christian. And I have Sheila with me as my guest.
Thank you so much, Fred. So I'm excited to continue our conversation about finances.
Okay, so let's go. So we'll be discussing about financial progress for Christian. And my first question is, Sheila, what practical steps can Christian take to progress financially in business and investment?
Okay, so that's a great topic because everyone wants financial progress, right? So I'm going to go a little more practical now.
Yeah.
So first of all, if there's anything that you want, you have a financial goal, it's very important to have first, you have to have a very specific and clear financial goal.
Okay.
And the second thing you have to do is to identify your current reality.
Okay.
That covers also your behaviors around money, the emotions that you have around money.
Okay.
And from that, once you have identified that and answered that as honest as you can, then from that you can take your action on how you can achieve your goal. So I would like to dive deeper into that. Maybe we can give an example.
Okay.
So maybe some of our viewers are praying for a business, say for example, right?
Yeah.
So we want to have a business, so you have your specific goal, maybe build a business in 5 years and earn this much money, right?
Yeah.
But do you know why a lot of businesses fail, Fred?
No.
That's actually because they actually don't have proper planning.
Proper planning.
And there's, a thing in finances that they always say that if you fail to plan,
Yeah.
you plan to
to
fail,
fail.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the reason why a lot of people fail is because of impulsiveness.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so impulsiveness, I think that's something that whether you're from Africa, you're from Asia, you're from America, it's something that we universally have, I guess, as humans. Say for example, you reach your first year goal in business. Maybe you've even exceeded it, but what stops you from progressing financially is our desire for more things. Like say for example, you set aside $100,000,
Okay.
but now the new iPhone comes in,
Okay.
and then now you forget about your goal and you focus on getting that gadget.
The new iPhone.
Or maybe this is, I don't know if you've heard of the term keeping up with the Joneses. When like you're totally fine, but you see your neighbor like maybe upgrading their house or buying all these luxury items, then all of a sudden, because we have these emotions around money, we have this behavior where maybe there's some level of jealousy towards others.
Sure. You want to do the same thing.
You forget about your goal, and that's actually stopping you from going to the next level, from progressing.
Wow.
So it's so important to identify that, wait, before I proceed, before I jump into my 5-year financial plan, I have to be honest first, accept and admit that, wait, maybe I have an impulsiveness issue right now. Let me handle that, let me pray for it. So that when those, like obstacles or challenges come along the way, I know that, wait, I know I have this weakness.
Okay.
I have to pray to God about it. So that's what I think.
That's good.
It's a practical step.
That's good. That's good. Because the Bible said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 5, saying, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance.
Yeah.
But everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. So being intentional with finances is very crucial when it comes to planning.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. We shouldn't be impulsive. We shouldn't make hasty decisions, because I think there was even a verse in Luke that says that it goes something like, if you plan to build a tower,
Okay.
why you wouldn't do that without considering the cost, or if you can afford it, right? Like,
Sure.
even during that time, they make sure that we understand that proper planning is important first, because that will stop us from making rash decisions that will not actually just damage, the current situation, but it might actually damage, the entire plan that you have, your progress, especially if I don't know if this will resonate with anyone.
Okay.
What if you have not dealt with your issue with gambling?
Okay.
You're very good with handling money, but what is that for? If you didn't, if you don't know how to handle those hasty, impulsive decisions in your life. So we have to be very careful about that, friends, to not be impulsive and hasty in our decisions when it comes to our finances.
For Christians to progress financially,
Yeah.
we should have a proper planning.
Correct.
We should plan properly.
Correct.
That's good. So my next question is, Shinan, are there specific investment strategies that align with Christian values?
There's actually a lot, Fred, but for this question, maybe I'll give you 3 answers. Okay, the first one would be, as Christians, of course, it's very important for us to be very diligent in the companies that we invest in.
Okay.
So we can research and make sure that the companies that we invest in are actually aligned with our Christian values.
Okay.
Right? Second would be, we always have to check our heart, right? Because as Jeremiah says, our heart is deceitful, right?
Sure.
So we have to make sure that in the investment industry, there's a lot of strategies that, may cloud our Christian values. What I mean by that is, sometimes you would hear investments that would give you such big returns. Like, you invest $1,000, it's going to be $100,000.
Sure.
So you go back to your heart, because Jeremiah says that the heart is deceitful, right?
Sure.
So we have to have consciousness around not making greed the intention of our investments. Right? And number 3 would be, I think it's in Matthew where they talked about the parable of the talents, right?
Yeah, Matthew 25, 14 to 30.
Wow, that's very good. So from what I remember from the story, the master gave one of the servants 5 talents, and then he came back with 5, so he doubled. And then the second one, he gave 2 talents, and then he came back with 4, right?
Yeah.
So the master was happy.
Sure.
But the third servant, he gave him only 1. What did he do? He hid it, right?
Sure.
So at the end, when the master came back, he only came back with 1.
Okay.
And the master was not very pleased with that.
Yeah.
So I think right now also with that parable, we have to let it speak to us in a way where maybe we could reflect upon it. Because all of us has talents, right? Like, you're a great pastor, you're a great speaker,
Sure.
you do have a lot of talents that God has given you.
Sure.
And I believe that God also has given me a lot of talents. Just like you, Fred, God has given you so many talents, one of which would be speaking, right?
Sure.
And what you're actually doing with the talent is great,
Sure.
because you're multiplying it by using your voice to talk to a lot of people, like our viewers right now. So I guess we could say that you're one of those talents, or you're one of those servants
Sure.
who are actually multiplying the talents.
Sure.
Because I believe that every one of us has their own talents, but again, the question is, are you keeping those talents hidden, or are you using it for the glory of God?
That's the question. Then the next thing I look at is stewardship
Yeah,
when it comes to resources.
yeah,
What do you have to say about that? That is, some people are not a good steward to their
Yeah.
own resources.
Yeah.
That is, they do not manage well.
yeah,
They mismanage everything they receive.
yeah,
Because the one who received the 5 talent increased it to 5.
yeah,
The one who received the 2 increased it to 4. These are good stewards
yeah,
because they manage the resources given to them very well. Then we come to the one who received 1.
yeah,
Bury the 1
yeah,
because he thought his master was wicked
yeah,
or his master was not a good man.
okay,
But yet he's mismanaged, and the master said, "Why don't you take it to the bank?
yeah,
Why don't you invest this money in the bank?"
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I think he was a bad steward.
yeah,
So I also believe that when God gave us talent,
yeah,
we should be a good steward
of
of
course.
every talent that God gave to us. We should be a good steward because our talent does not just give us what we want. our talent also glorify God.
Exactly.
What do you think about that?
So Fred, that's actually the point, right? You said that God gave us these talents.
Sure.
So therefore, because we know that God gave us these talents, it's also God who's going to help us multiply those talents.
Sure.
So we should not, in finances, we should not be so afraid that we're okay to take risk, I guess, as Christians,
Sure.
as long as like we do it diligently and we don't invest unethically. We can't be so afraid with doing anything, because it's also like limiting God, that like this is the only thing that God can do for me. And I don't think that we can limit what God can do in our lives.
Sure.
I don't think that we can limit how God will bless us.
Sure.
I think what God wants us to do is to step out in faith.
Okay.
Right? There's a concept that I've heard and I love it so much. It's called dangerous prayers,
Okay.
where you act in such a way not based on your capacity,
Okay.
but based on what God can do for you.
Okay.
So go out there, you take risks, as long as you know that what you're doing is not illegal, not immoral, and let God do the rest, I guess, because He can answer in big, magnanimous ways, and He can always surprise us.
Yeah, and this is a concept many people don't believe.
Yeah.
The Bible says in the book of John, St. John,
Yeah.
that a man can receive nothing except it is given to him by God.
Okay.
And I believe some people believe that everything we receive it based on our own work, our own understanding.
Okay.
But I also believe that whatever we receive is from God. So we should be very conscious of whatever we receive. It can be finances, it can be a relationship. Everything is given to us by God. And we should be a good steward to
Exactly.
whatever resources we have
Exactly.
or whatever we receive in our life.
Yeah.
Because we are accountable
Yeah.
to every mistakes we made with the resources that God gave to us.
Exactly.
Is that okay? Okay, so let me ask you my next question. This is my third question. What role does contentment play in financial growth?
I want to say that in the finance world, contentment is very expensive.
Okay.
And why I say that is because you can be a millionaire or you can be a billionaire, but still not find contentment. It's something that, a lot of rich people can't afford, right? I personally know a lot of people who has a lot of money, but they still feel that there's a lot of things that are missing in their lives and that they actually don't have what they're looking for. So in the end, and maybe for some of our viewers here, they also feel that maybe you're overcome by anxiety or depression, thinking that, like maybe you have all these resources, but still don't feel contented. And why I'm saying that is because personally, I've also had the time in my life, even as a Christian, right, that like I did feel the need to like make money.
Okay.
But the thing is, when I made more money, it felt like, okay, wow, then I can make more, and then more, and then more, and then more. And that gets very tiring.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I still have a lot of anxieties because I don't know where that ends.
Okay.
Like, where will I feel satisfied with what I currently have? And the thing that I learned from my walk with Jesus is that the reason why it's so hard for me to find contentment with my life, that's also causing me, a lot of sadness, even with all these blessings that I have around me, is because I also got blinded by the love of money instead of just focusing on the love of God.
Okay.
And I'm really so happy that I'm a Christian, because with my walk, I've learned the antidote for is it discontentment?
Yeah, discontentment, yeah.
Discontentment, and it's so simple. And if everybody in the world will just practice it, I think we will all be even just a little bit happier.
Okay.
And the antidote is actually just living a life of gratitude. So that's actually something that I try to practice every day. That instead of focusing on the things that I don't have, I look at the things that I have.
Okay.
Or maybe there are 99 things that didn't go well today, with my investments, with my business, with my relationship, with anything.
Okay.
Maybe there's this 1% that I can focus on,
Okay.
where I feel God's love and God's grace anyway. And if you always focus on, the good things, the things that you're grateful for, then I find it so much easier for me to think that I have a good life and feel contented. What do you think?
I think contentment is good, and it might have a positive aspect of it.
Okay.
It might have a negative aspect of it. Because, for example, if I'm a businessman, I want an increase in my investment.
Naturally.
So if I start selling a chair, I start selling one chair, and my one chair is growing, the market is blooming.
Okay.
And if I continue to be content with that one chair, I'm not going to meet my financial goal, because sometimes contentment is based on your financial goal. So maybe somebody plan the financial goal, they want to be, they want to have a multi-million dollars company.
Okay.
But they started with a chair,
Okay.
just one chair. But their financial goal is they want to have a multi-million financial corporation. So they started with one chair. And by they selling the one chair years in and years out will not make them to meet their financial goal or make them to have what they want to have. So they will start looking at the bigger picture. So they might sell one chair this year,
Okay.
next year 2, the following year 3, 6,
Okay.
8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
So I believe sometimes contentment is also based on your financial goal and on your financial planning. But I think also contentment become, the negative aspect of contentment is based on, as you stated, when you are blinded financially, you are blinded by money instead of the love of God. Because the love of God gives us peace, gives us assurance, gives us joy, gives us comfort.
You stop there.
When you stop there. But when you are blinded by money and all you think about is money, the only thing that comes to your mind is getting the best phone, getting the best Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, the Prado, and all of that. So you want more. And you find out that even though your financial goal begin to depreciate, because all the things that you invested in cannot give you a return. They cannot give you a return. And you want more, it's more and more. And your goal is because you want to be among the Joneses, as you said. You want to be among the Joneses, you want to show off. It's based on jealousy, it's based on pride, it's based on anxiety, it's based on because you want to have a fame. So you keep wanting more and more. So that is the negative aspect. Where does a contentment lead you?
So I think it's good to, want to excel in something. It's good that you want to grow.
Yeah.
Especially if you have it on your heart to maybe, build multi-million dollar company. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Especially if your heart is, to use that company to bless a lot of people.
Sure.
That's all great. But I think going back to financial goals, we also have to identify that, not identify, but we also have to accept that financial goals are very subjective.
Okay.
So whether, you intend to be that millionaire or billionaire,
Okay.
or maybe you just want to keep a mom and pop shop where you want to keep your business very small.
Okay.
Both are okay. Your goal may be small or your goal may be big, but as long as in your heart you are content, you're happy, and the reason why you do your business is still, I guess, pleasing to God, then I think there's nothing wrong with both. You can't say, don't be rich because it's a bad thing. You can't say that because there's a lot of rich people who are blessing a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But you can't also say that, you're not growing your business, maybe you're lazy. You can't also say that because maybe what he's making from that small shop is already enough for his family, and he's blessing other people in other ways other than his finances. So it's subjective.
That's good. So that is, as a Christian, whatever I have, I should be content with it. What I do not have, I should not bother myself about it. What I should do is that as long I'm still making impact, as long
And your heart is in the right place.
and my heart is in the right place,
Yeah.
then I'm okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And always be grateful.
Always be grateful. Okay.